Shimano released the RX8 to fill a void in cycling shoes, and that is a gravel shoe. Now, many people looked at this and they said, well, Shimano's just trying to cash in on the gravel craze. But in my opinion, it's much more than just a gravel shoe. Now, right off the bat, when you try these shoes or pick up these shoes, realize how light they are. And they're really designed more for gravel speed, racing, things like that. It's not designed for hiking or exploring or anything of that nature. Now, as far as it being lightweight, it's probably the lightest 2-bolt pattern of shoe you can find. It's not quite as light as a road shoe, but it's definitely lighter than your mountain bike shoes. My size come in at 337 grams, and for comparison's sake, I also own some older Shimano XC7s. They come in at 367 grams, and top of the line XC9s come in at 395 grams. The road shoes, they come in at 266 grams, and this is just for a single shoe. Now, I would not recommend this shoe for your exploring, hiking, that type of gravel riding. For that, you want to use a shoe that has somewhat of a flexible sole. This sole is very stiff. It comes in a 10 out of 11 on the Shimano scale. It has a Boa Dial here. This is the IP1, which means you can turn it this way to tighten, turn it this way to loosen it. It has a Velcro strap on the front right here, and works great as well there. It has great heel retention. My heel is not moving up and down whatsoever, so it really hugs your foot, and you can actually see right through here, it straps around your whole foot here, and it really keeps it nice and snug, and it's very comfortable as well. Now, I was a little concerned with ventilation, especially being here in Florida where it's really hot, but I have found that the little holes they have all over this, it ventilates very well. It's not, my feet are not getting super hot, and that's in days where I'm riding, it's 95 degrees out, heat index of 105, and so the ventilation is very good. Now, when I saw this shoe online, I noticed it had, in my opinion, what seemed like a lot of tread for it being a lightweight shoe, and the tread is great if you do have to hike or walk or go through a short section. It does give you a little bit of traction there, and then the power transfer right through here is very good as well. Now, on my Shimano pedals, sometimes it will squeak a little bit because obviously this is where your power transfer is taking place. So that does happen occasionally, which would happen with just about any regular 2-bolt SPD shoe that you use. Now, on the back, it does have some lugs on the back here as well. And the bottom of mine has not scuffed up horrible, and I've used it quite a bit, and I've hiked through some rough areas as well. It does have somewhat of a rubber cover here on the front that really protects it and keeps it from being damaged when you do have to hike, and it also does the same on the back here, allowing you to be able to protect the shoe when you're hiking. Now, I used these in a gravel race that was super muddy, and they were just caked in mud. I was able to run through some peanut butter mud with it as well, and obviously it did stick on the bottom, but it came off, so I was able to get back into the pedal. But it cleaned up very well after the race. I was a little concerned with that, but being a gravel shoe, you want it to definitely be able to clean up easy. And this surface on the sides here, a little water and a little elbow grease, definitely cleaned it right up. Now, I mentioned at the beginning that this shoe, in my opinion, is more than just a gravel shoe. I don't do any road racing, so for me, this is my road shoe. It's light enough, it gets, the weight gets down closer to road shoe weight, and the power transfer is great. So I love using this shoe on the road. I also use it on mountain biking, like in a mountain bike race where you're not going to be doing any kind of running or anything like that. It works great for that as well. So for me, this shoe is a road shoe, it's a mountain bike shoe, and obviously a gravel shoe. Now, if I am going to be doing a route that's going to require some hiking, I'll use my old XC7s here. And the reason why I'll use these is because they actually have some flex in them. And they, when you're walking, so they're super comfortable when you're walking with these shoes. But as far as just power transfer, no walking, anything like that, these shoes are better. As far as sizing goes, these are size 45. I wear 45s in Giro, also Specialized. So the sizing is pretty close. They can run a little narrow, but they do offer some wider versions as well. In the past, I was using Giro VR90s. Those shoes were great, but they were very, very stiff, and I would get hot spots. These shoes I have not gotten hot spots like I did with the VR90s. Also, these don't seem to soak up as much sweat as the Giros. The Giros, when it would get really hot and sweaty out, they would just weigh down with a bunch of sweat and everything. So these seem to, evaporate the sweat a lot better than the Giros did. As far as durability, the only issue I've had is right here on the heel area. Some of the gray little sections here that is kind of grippy is actually coming apart on my left shoe. So this shoe is fine. I'll show a picture here in a second, but you can see, I think that's just from me getting in and out of it and being kind of careless and throwing my shoe in as quick as possible. So that's one thing you may encounter. I've been using these shoes for about 7 months now. So, with a lot of wear and tear, a lot of riding, something like that is kind of expected. Also, another good thing about these shoes, they're not as expensive as the high-end shoes of like the XC9s. Those run up to like $400. These you can get around $199. Sometimes you can find deals on them where you can find them about $150. So, it really ticks a lot of boxes for me. The price is lower, the weight is lower, the power transfer is great for road riding, and it's a great shoe. All right, if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button down below, share it with any of your friends, also subscribe. That would help me out tremendously, and we'll see you in the next video.